NSA, tell me that you at least thought it was funny when I lifted my hand up and you heard one of my family say, "Hold my hand." Come on. All right. So that aside, that's not what this podcast is about. See my other podcast for that subject. Okay. What this podcast is about is the USG's crime. Again, this time we're talking about education, and I want to show you what I've got here. Okay, I've got here Federal Student Aid Disclosure Statement, William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan Program. This is dated date of disclosure statement 9/26/2023. The loan period was from September 25th, 2023 through June 14th, 2024. This was my first year back to school after my total and permanent disability discharge. So, Department of Education, when I was on the phone with you, you told me, yeah, 3 years from now, you can go back to school. You'll be eligible again for loans. Okay, Department of Education, how do I do that? You have to promise that you will not be taking a loan out again on the basis of total and permanent disability. Or go to a doctor and say that you're capable of maintaining substantial gainful activity. I had two options. That's how I got this Department of Education. That's how I got this loan, because I had two options. Because you gave me a promise. You gave me a promise that I would be eligible for loans again. You gave me a promise that I would be allowed to continue to be disabled and go to school. As long as I went through that 3-year period. That 3-year period wasn't for me, that period was for you, so that you can save yourself money. That's what that 3-year period was for. So I said, okay. And I went back to school. Then here's what you do on me for the 2024-2025 FAFSA. You make students, you say, hey, if you want federal loans again, you have to go to a doctor saying that you're capable of maintaining substantial gainful activity, and you have to say that you won't take out another loan again on the basis of total and permanent disability discharge. But if your condition degrades again, you'll be eligible for a TPD. How the fuck does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense at all. No, it makes none at all. Because you're actually having us sign a piece of paper saying that we're capable of substantial gainful activity if we want loans again. That doesn't give you the option to go half-time. I don't know if you noticed that. Do you know what substantial gainful activity means to the Social Security Administration? It should mean the same thing to the school. Half-time is not substantial gainful activity. You cannot expect a disabled student to go to the doctor and say, hey doc, can you sign a note here saying that I'm capable of substantial gainful activity? That means 40 hours a week. That's what that means. It equates to, okay, if you look at substantial gainful activity, what is substantial gainful activity? What is substantial gainful activity? Is it 20 hours a week? Is it 40 hours a week? No. No, let's find out what substantial gainful activity is now. Okay? Substantial gainful activity. Let's go SGA 2024. Okay? For 2024, it's 2,590. for blind individuals. For non-blind individuals, the monthly SGA amount for 2024 is $15.50. That's gross, not net. That's gross. $15.50. Okay, let's find out. So $15.50. That's greater than my current income. With survivors benefits and Social Security disability. So we're gonna go. Let's go Oregon minimum wage. Standard. Okay, for the Portland area it's $15.95. Non-urban it's $13.70. So like rural or whatever. And standard. So around this area it's gonna be $14.70 an hour. The Portland metro areas parts include Clackamas, Multnomah, and Washington counties. Non-urban areas include Baker, Coos, Curry, Douglas, Gilliam, Grant, Harney, Jefferson, Klamath, Lake, Malheur, Morrow, Sherman, Matilla, Union, Wallowa, Wheeler counties. So yeah, it's going to be $14.70 an hour. So we're going to take $15.70, divide that by $14.70. That's 106 hours a month, 106.8 hours a month. Divided by how many weeks are there in the month? There's 4.33 weeks in a month. That's 24.66. That's approximately 25 hours a week. That's above halftime. It's still considered part-time work. Part-time is not substantial gainful activity. So you're whatever you're doing with federal regulations, you're redefining substantial gainful activity to be part-time. So what you're gonna do here is, if I have that on a piece of paper, I take that to the Social Security Administration. Do you understand what that means? It means that if I go to a doctor, and if I get that note for a doctor, it could be all cool. It could be great. I could probably get my loans. I could probably do that. But all the FBI has to do, or the CIA, or the NSA, or Kamala Harris, or Joe Biden, or anybody that doesn't like me, all they have to do is pick up the phone and say, David Johnson went to a doctor and signed a doctor's note, Social Security Administration, that he's capable of maintaining substantial gainful activity. Yeah, close his benefits. See how that works? When all I'm doing is going to school half-time. And that's what disabled people, that's generally where they're able to function at, is 1 or 2 classes at a time due to their medical condition. So somebody who is not as higher functioning as I, what could happen is they could go to school. The schools are telling them it's okay. Oh, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're disabled. Fuck yeah, it does. It doesn't mean that they say it doesn't mean that you're not disabled. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's what that means in the eyes of the Social Security Administration. It means you are no longer disabled. So a student here trying to go to school, when they're functioning at halftime, 6 credits, that's not substantial gainful activity. That's not substantial gainful activity. You are completely removing anything below substantial gainful activity. You're not allowing us to function below that. You're not allowing us to function below substantial gainful activity, and you're redefining it. You're redefining it for students, at least. Substantial gainful activity, I can work SGA right now my 9 trial work months periods are probably reset. Okay, for those of you that don't know, when you're on Social Security disability or or SSI and whatnot, you have 9 trial work months. Okay. Now, only months where you meet the SGA for that month or substantial gainful activity, which is that amount you saw here, 24.665 hours of work at Oregon at minimum wage, for at least Oregon at least. I can go work under that right now and have it not cost and have it not count as a trial work month if those periods are reset. I've already worked. I did my best. I did the best I could. I had a handful of jobs. It took me a handful of jobs to accumulate those 9 months. Then I stopped going to school. I mean, I stopped working. I stopped taking jobs. I was failing at what I was doing because of my condition. Now I'm at the point to where I think education is a route for me. I can go back to school. So I tried even harder. I worked hard. I said I'm going to get this TPT discharge promised to me by the government so that I can get out of default, so that I can go back to school. And I was able to take out a loan again. But you're putting students in a position that are disabled, that when they get a discharge, they could lose their Social Security disability benefits. So you're saying that they have equal opportunity, but they really don't. Now, when they sign that paperwork and have from a doctor a note saying, hey, this is substantial gainful activity, and they take it to the school's going to be like, all right, great, here's your loan. Here's your loan from the federal government. That's great for a while, until the Social Security Administration gets wind of it. But SSA, SSD, I'm only functioning half-time. I'm only taking 6 credits because I'm still disabled. It doesn't matter. You sign a doctor's note saying that you're capable of maintaining substantial gainful activity. Disabled does not equal stupid. Just because I can barely pass 2 classes does not mean I'm capable of maintaining substantial gainful activity, which is equitable to, or equatable to, 24.665 hours at $14.70 an hour, greater than that or greater, every month. I'm not capable of that. But you're having students say that they are, or that they can, or that they're able to do that if they're able to go half-time. That's not the same fucking thing at all. That's not the same fucking thing at all. Education works differently on the mind and the emotions of people that are psychologically disabled. It could be social reasons, and at one point the federal government understood that. They understood that maybe a disabled student can go to school but not do so great at work, or vice versa. So it was all cool and it was all fair with work, but now it's no longer fair with education. And I'm going to prove you all wrong. I just did. So what you're doing is the people that are not disabled SCOTUS, when they get their loans discharged, they don't have to lose their work income. I do. I have to lose my income. Okay? My father worked for that. I worked for it too. I put it in the Social Security Administration. Those benefits are survivor's benefits because my father, he was murdered. Okay? And I was declared disabled from the age of 21 on. And I was in the Oregon State Hospital as a youth and in foster care. You can't ignore these little details and make disability what you want it to be. You need to let it be what it is. So you're not giving us the same advantage. You're not giving us the same equal opportunity when we get our loans discharged, but you're doing it for everybody else, for other students. And is that how you plan to pay for their discharges? To pay for the ones that were discharged by us? Now you don't have to deal with us anymore. But you can just use those funds to pay for them, right? I'm going to bring you a generation of people that understand government and that will catch you when you do this wrong. That's what's coming for you.